All right, welcome back to the Roast It Yourself podcast, brought to you by Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop. My name is Stephen Burnett with Coffee Bean Corral in Jackson, Mississippi. And with me, as always, is Catherine Mansell, Certified Q Grader and Director of Current Crop Roasting Shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. Catherine, how are you today? How's Current Crop doing?
Well, very well. We've gotten into the king cake game, and I've never seen king cakes go as quickly.
Wow.
I think we're selling out of king cakes one a day, and we're trying a bunch of new ones from Nolita, Breads on Oak, which is vegan and dairy free, and we made a king cake latte, which has been really
What?
fun.
Wait,
Yeah,
okay. Can you
yeah.
share the recipe to that? Is that something
Oh
you
yeah.
can do? Okay.
Um, vanilla, brown sugar syrup, uh, with cinnamon and topped with Mardi Gras colored sugars.
Heck yeah. Is there a little
It's
plastic
great.
baby in every 10th one?
No, gosh. The babies are not what they used to be. They're not hidden anymore. They're actually on the
No.
outside of the cakes.
Kids
Uh,
today in this generation do not know, like falling into a little baby, or choking on one. Like that's part of the
right.
experience, guys. Come on. Oh
Right.
my gosh. Well,
Uh,
we're over here preparing for apparently a massive snowstorm in Jackson, Mississippi. I wouldn't believe it at all if they hadn't had that pretty serious snowstorm at the coast last year. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, each week we set aside about 10 minutes to field questions from home coffee roasters and professionals alike about roasting, tasting, and most importantly, enjoying coffee. You can send your questions to questions at riypod.com. That's questions at riypod.com to get a nice shout out from us in an upcoming episode, and of course, to get your question answered. This week's question comes from Steve Graves, OP, and I give his full name because he actually has written things on the internet. He's a public figure, and I've read some of his stuff, which is pretty cool before. So it was just neat to have that connection. Like, I recognize that name. That's cool. He says, I have a new SR800 with extension tube. Might I request a roasting profile with fan, heat, and temperature targets with tips and suggestions for green coffees I get from you? If not, I plan to use your Roast Along podcast with my new SR800 with the extension tube. You previously provided detailed fan and heat settings. Can you please provide more detailed information on temperature targets for the drying, yellow slash browning and development stages? Do you achieve the highest temp in the browning stage and coast into development stage? Do you have suggestions as to drop time for light, medium, and medium dark times for the same beans? Thanks for the podcast. We'll share on Reddit. Well, that is a very thorough question. Thank you, Steve. I will say this: Steve's got the right idea. Share it on Reddit. You guys should all be sharing this on Reddit. Share it on all the social medias because it helps get more people into coffee roasting and educate them in the process. So start there. But Catherine, what do you think? So, what do you think about his question about some more specific targets?
Um, Really, the only issue with providing temperature targets for a fresh roast is the inconsistency of the temperature gauge. So that's really just there as a guide. And each roaster is a tad bit different. So if I tell you the temperature of the air going into the roaster, what it's supposed to be, my roaster and your roaster may not have that same temperature gauge. So making sure that's what you're looking for is not necessarily the best way to go about it. There are many ways to stretch and shorten each phase. You can either have a high temp in the yellowing phase and shorten it to ensure you retain the acidity and the fruit notes, or you can slowly raise the temperature after the first couple of minutes to slowly increase the temperature, extending the phase to around 50% of your total roast time. So that's the sort of low and slow method of roasting coffee. It'll mute the acidity a little bit, but it'll be more on the lines of the 50-30-20 goal for a medium roast, where the sugars are breaking down and you'll bring forth those sweet chocolatey notes. If you want to start out with a higher temp in the browning stage and shorten up your roast, That'll normally keep the acidity, most of those fruity notes in there. So what you're really paying attention to in the fresh roast is how long you're staying in each phase and which way you want to roast, either short and fast or low and slow. Each bean, depending on their flavor profiles, will work for each way, depending on the result you're going for. But looking at the temperature is not the best tool. Mm-hmm. First crack begins anywhere between 360 to 390 degrees bean temperature, and the temperature on the roaster is going to be significantly higher than that.
It's not bean temperature. It's just not. Yeah. It's not even trying to be bean temperature. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So giving you a number to look at temperature-wise is not going to be helpful, unless you have a probe in there.
Even the probe, really, can I interject real quick? Even the probe can be really difficult, because I did that. You've seen my Frankenstein setup, and the probe can't move, otherwise it's not going to be accurate. So mine was like going around, moving all over the place as the beans move. So it can't be moving, and it can't be in the direct path of the airflow to get an accurate bean temperature. Which, if it's a fresh roast, it's just shooting up from the bottom. There's no like, this is where the airflow is, and on the back side's a return. So it's really hard to, even if you have a probe, you'd have to do a lot to get it placed correctly, placed securely, and maybe blocked from direct airflow from the heating element, even to get an accurate reading. So that's really hard to achieve. Sorry to interject that, but I wanted to say.
Yeah, no. So do you have any suggestions as to drop times for light, medium, and medium dark times for the same beans?
Yeah.
So it depends on which guide you're using, short and fast or low and slow. If you're doing the low and slow, which you'll see if you do the roast along video, a light roast can be 7.5 to 8 minutes into the roast. A medium roast can be 8 to 8.5 minutes, and a medium dark roast can be 8.5 to 9 minutes. So it's still going to be relatively short, but you've got about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds in between each roasting phase, because the roaster and the beans are just getting hotter and hotter. If you do the short and fast roast, about 7 minutes is going to give you a light roast, maybe 7.5 medium roast, 8 minutes medium dark. But again, it's all depending on which way you're trying to roast.
Yeah. I think that's right. And what you're trying to bring out of the coffee. Yeah. I think this can be frustrating to people that are starting out, because they want more precision. And of course, with a roaster like the Fresh Roast, which is great for beginners, and honestly, I use it all the time. It's great to get exactly what you want. It doesn't offer the precision of a higher end professional, like, commercial roaster. But I'll say this too. I read an article put out by Mill City Roasters. They make really nice American made roasting machines, and people will send them requests. Hey, look, here's my graph from my roast. What am I doing wrong? And they write in this article, you can't just send us the graph, because every machine is different. There are so many factors. And even the probes are going to read slightly different from machine to machine. And that's with the big, nice, expensive commercial ones too.
Yeah.
So we want like an easy, and we want it to be like baking, right? Like where it's 350, 20 minutes, done. Even baking isn't like that though, because every oven is a little bit different. But you know what I mean? We want that kind of precision. I think what we can achieve though, to inject a little hope here, you can achieve that precision once you know your roaster with well taken notes, trial and error. You absolutely can achieve that kind of precision and repeatability. It's just you can't shortcut it and get somebody else's precision and use their exact numbers and get the same exact result. That's really difficult. As far as and I don't think temperature reading on the fresh roast is a good metric or good tool. The best tool, I think, sight, sound, and smell are excellent with that roaster. Getting to know what the coffee bean looks like as it's going through the stages, and Steve's already talking about the browning and the yellowing stage, browning stage, all that kind of stuff. So he's already familiar. Get really familiar with like where are we at and time how long we're in each stage. One thing he said that I thought was he mentioned, like, do you reach the highest temperature level in the browning stage and then coast into development? I tend to want to like coast into development. Once I start hearing first crack, I tend to want to be way less aggressive. I say way less aggressive with my heat, and let the machine kind of carry the roast through. Because once you hit first crack, you've got all the energy you need in the roast. It's not gonna You're not gonna miss it at this point. So now it's just, do we need to stretch that phase out? Do we need to shorten it up? But I would also recommend, we did do, and he mentioned our roast along podcast, which is this right here. But we also did do roast. What do we call it? A roast along. Wait, no, this is the Roast Yourself podcast. He mentioned it. Okay, good. So we have 2 episodes, or 2 like 30-minute videos. One for the fresh roast with the extension tube, and one without the extension tube. And if you're using those, that can be really helpful to help set like a baseline. And then finally, I guess my answer to the question at the very top of the page here is, do we provide those temperature targets for coffees we get? No, we really don't. And the reason is because we can't. We could throw numbers at you, but we want to actually help you learn to roast. We want to actually give you a good result. And we could do that, but it's going to be totally different. Anecdotally, I've only done a couple of classes down there at Current Crop. And when I did them, like, we would get vastly different readings off of the same machine, like different machines, right, of the same style, same FreshRoast SR800, but they're reading very, very differently on the screen. So just watch out for that. That's what I would say. Catherine, is it possible we left something out of this answer?
Probably.
I mean, we left out the certainty that he's asking for. So yeah, we did. I just don't think I don't think it's something we can give. Now, listen, listeners, look, we know what we're talking about, but there are people out there that have been roasting a lot longer than both of us, and that may have an answer to this. They may go, no, you guys you're idiots. Like, it's obvious. Here's how you do it. And if you have that answer for Steve, don't keep it. Don't hide it in your chest. Get it out. Okay, get it out and put it in the comments below this video or below the podcast. Let us know how you do it. Send us an angry email, like, all caps, with how to do it, so we can share that information later. We'd love to do that. We want to help people like get to know roasting better and become better at it ourselves. So we rely on you guys for that kind of feedback. Thank you for those of you who have given that kind of feedback. We hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it, which isn't possible because we really enjoy it. But please leave us a rating and review if you did on whatever platform you found us on. And be like Steve. Share this on Reddit. Share this on MySpace and Tumblr and wherever, I don't know, wherever people like Friendster. It's not a thing anymore. Please do that, because it would help us get out there and more people see us, more people learn that roasting is possible and that it's fun and that it can be achieved by just about anybody. So be sure to like us and follow us on our social media accounts as well. And just a big thank you to our coworkers that enable us to do this, that do the editing of the audio and video for the podcast to make us look and sound good. Thank you all so much for taking care of that for us. Remember, dear listeners, send any questions you have about coffee in general or coffee roasting in particular to questions@riypod.com. Otherwise, have a great day and happy roasting.
Thanks, Steve.